not that he didn't work hard, but I mean he had an ability. I mean I can beat on a guitar. I can't play a guitar, but I can beat on one.
Right.
But that's just 2 limbs.
Right.
When you got to have 4 limbs going, and all 4 of them got to be in time.
Yeah, and everybody's counting on you. It's like flying a helicopter. That's why it's both hands and both feet. I can't even approach that. But I mean, he plays guitar and bass, and there was a time, and he still can. He and I had a few songs we had to do for something, and we didn't have a bass player, couldn't find one, and so he played bass and drums. And I'm not talking about to record. I'm talking about live on stage. He's holding a bass guitar like this, turned with the volume all the way
I
up.
was going to be sarcastic and say, well, not at the same time.
Yeah.
You're saying at the same time.
Yeah, and he's fretting. You know how you can hammer on a string and it'll make the note. So he's got it turned all the way up so that he can. He's fretting the notes and hitting the notes and playing drums with his hands and feet. And we did. There's 3 or 4 numbers we worked up like that.
Did he blink his eyes in time too?
Probably. If he blinks it, I'm not sure he blinks at all. But he's a hell of a drummer. Luke hired me, kind of, and I was in a tough spot and wasn't expecting anything at all. But I had known Luke since he started, kind of vaguely, periphery, and then he just got huge and good. And I was playing with a band called Westbound Murphy, which a lot of the original songs that I have a lot of them are co-writes with Hunter West, another guy you need to get up here.
And he's from Arkansas too?
Yeah, he's from Ball Knob. He lives in Searcy now. Yeah, he's a young cat. He's maybe 24, 25 now.
Okay.
He was 20 or 20. I don't even think he was 21. This was in 2012 or so. Anyway, Luke caught our act, and he knew who I was and stuff. Well, he would hire me for a pickup gig here or there on bass or guitar. Well, then, actually, I got home from the pen the first time. No work. Nobody would touch me. I'm talking about people that I've known and played music with my whole life. I mean, I was unusable, and nobody wanted to associate with me. Not necessarily just because I'd been to the pen, but just that drug in and of itself is usually a death sentence to anybody, and it is. It's terrible. But anyway, Luke, being Luke, the eternal optimist, wanted a second guitar player, didn't need one, doesn't still. And I told him that when he offered me the job. I said, Luke, what the hell you need with a second guitar player? You're Luke Williams. He's like, man, I just want to be able to not have to do everything all the time. Because he'd been just a trio, which is effective for bar bands, which is the way I prefer to do it. It's cost effective, but he told me that he said that he wanted to focus on being an entertainer, rounded entertainer, fronting the band, singing, obviously playing guitar, hearing this and that guitar parts. But he said just on the grind, on these bar songs, you'll probably wind up playing more lead guitar rides than I do. And I'm like, well, okay, whatever, bro. I just need to work. And I'm thinking, he's just saying whatever he needs to say to get, because I mean, I'm a good guitar player, good tone, seasoned, professional. There are reasons to hire me other than that I'm a good guitar player, but I figured he's going to get me in here and get me lulled to sleep, and then I'll be relegated to the back of the stage as a rhythm guitar player, and I said, if you do that to me, I'll walk. He said, man, I promise. And I played with him for, 16 or 18 months there straight, almost every week, and he sure was right. He just throughout the course of that, but on any given night, as far as the laid out lead ride parts, I'm certain that he nodded them off to me more often than himself. So in that, I was pleasantly surprised. But as it turns out, he became one of my closest and best friends, and it's odd that the tables kind of turned there. He's helped me in my career and get my foot in the door places far more than I ever could have him, because I didn't have any name recognition really until I started playing with him and then doing my solo acoustic stuff. And any recognition that I do have basically is rooted from playing with Luke.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about Jason. I didn't mean to get off on that chair. He hired me, and the second gig, I realized that the drummer was Tony Reeves. I mean, who is a fantastic musician all around. You may see him, depending on what night is, what band he's playing with, literally up front stage quality drummer, bass player, steel guitar player. So, and he's playing drums, and I realized that was him. I mean, I knew it was, but then after it was like the second gig I played with him, I remembered who he was. Mm-hmm. And Luke said, "Yeah, he's just filling in. I got to find a drummer." And I was like, "You know what, man? My brother just so happens to be the best drummer in the world." That was my exact words. And Luke said, "Really?" He said, "I didn't even know you had a brother." And I don't know how that could be because, you know, our families are kind of intermingled going way back. But I said, "Yeah." And anyway, Luke said, "Well, see if he wants to play this coming up Saturday, Hard Rider, whatever it was. Hard Rider, Whiskey Bent is what it is now." Yeah. He said that can kind of be his audition gig because I don't think there'll be anybody there anyway.
You're like, "Dude, he don't need to audition."
Right. I said, "I promise." I said, "He's at very least he's as good a drummer as I am a guitar player, and in actuality he's better." And Luke took my word for that. You know, he knew I wasn't going to throw anything because it's me up there too. I got, of course, Jason showed up, no rehearsal, nothing, and hit it out of the park just like I knew he would. And them two are thick as thieves. They're always together. Them two have been together ever since, Luke and Jason.
You know, something that amazed me about Jason is, and I didn't spend a ton of time around him. I had that, you know, I've sent you that picture before. I had that one baseball season we played on the same baseball team. And
I think that's the only year he played baseball.
He was pretty good. I only played 1 year.
Yeah.
But he never. I mean, let me tell you, if I could play drums like he could, I'd be telling everybody how I'm the best damn. He never even.
It embarrasses him. It embarrasses him when I brag on him like that. He's just
it's amazing.
He's just a really kind of subdued, laid back kind of cat, and I mean, I think he feels the same about me and my guitar playing and songwriting stuff. He's proud of me and impressed by that, and he brags on me and I brag on him, and neither of us brag on ourselves. Just because that's not, I don't know. If I have to say it about myself, then it don't count. If somebody else says it, then I'll take that.